Oh yeah, baby. MCU'S Bleeding Edge. That's right. I'm gonna start headbanging every time we do DC animated for that and whatnot and everything, right? And what's gonna be interesting though is when we watch like a DC animated film that's more lighthearted than whatnot. We've got that intro going. I don't know if it'll really connect, but I don't even know if there really are any like lighthearted DC animated films. I guess we'll have to see. Either way, folks, we're here to do Green Lantern First Flight. As you can see prominently displayed behind Cyber and by Andres. Andres is a little bit more. His is a little bit more. Needs to be what do you call it? Centered or.
Yeah, it's Green Lantern. It's Hal Jordan doing
his
thing.
It's fucking green, baby. It's all you need.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah.
Oh, green's
nice
green.
Shirt. Nice shirt. I actually.
Oh yeah.
I got a Green Lantern shirt.
Oh, you got me on that one. Yep. Ooh, I like that too. I'm jealous.
Yeah.
I'm jealous. I want one.
Yeah.
I want one. DC Cyber, happy birthday, baby! You got some DC animated gear coming your way, bruh. Just so you know, a little special surprise for you. So don't be surprised, don't be shocked when you get a couple boxes here in a couple days.
Oh, okay.
I didn't even get any for myself, bro. Just for you. Just so you know.
Just so sweet.
I was just too lazy to get the shit for myself too. It's just sitting.
Sure.
It's in the cart or whatever. I just didn't feel like dealing with it. Some of them sites you gotta like separate everything and like on the list and everything and whatnot to ship them out. But anyways, folks, we are here at the MCU'S Bleeding Edge YouTube channel podcast. Semi-professional as usual. To once again review, breakdown, discuss. I believe it's our 5th animated DC film. We enjoyed reviewing all of them, and I believe Andres has done what 4 or 5 of them out of the 5 of them, and we got Rich Knight here tonight from the Cinema Blend. Rich, did you do one of them with us? Okay. Well, maybe that's a 0. Can you hear me, Rich? Uh-oh. Rich doesn't like me anymore. He must be upset with me. I did something wrong.
I don't know. I think it's Sinestro doing his.
Oh, it's Sinestro?
Yeah.
That's right. Hey, the yellow element. The yellow element fucked him up. Rich,
Yep.
I told you not to fuck with yellow, baby, tonight. Come on now. Anyways, Rich will be back.
Yeah.
Rich is here from Cinema Blend. We got Andres, the pop culture guy. Cyberneticshark has decided to take a break from moderating the fuck out of everybody and killing it fucking every fucking time to jump on the panel for an evening and take a break and relax and chill and contribute, which is always nice. And so you get my ass, motherfucker. What's up? Hey, I love me some DC animated films, baby. Let's get it. Follow Andres, the pop culture guy. I will plug his stuff at the end of the show. He's got multiple YouTube channels, got podcasts, right? Follow Rich Knight. Whether he comes back or not, I don't even care. On Cinema Blend, where he's a writer and a good one. Right? I've read his stuff. I'm not some fake ass over here. I have, but he writes some good shit. He is. Cyberneticshark, who I will plug the shit out at the end of the show. Makes his own content, of course. He is Cyberneticshark on everything. You know what I'm saying? He's consistent, baby. He don't play. So, it ain't hard to find him. It's not misspelled anywhere. It's all the same. So, but the YouTube ones won't really care about. Get his ass to 1,000 subs. Let's do it. Come on, baby. Let's get it. All right? As far as we go, if you would help us out, please, and ring that bell so you're notified, since we are a live stream show, that always helps, probably more than anything. So you're aware when we're live, and you can just jump in and participate, right? Just like I wish some chick would just jump in later on and whatnot, and just slip in during the show, and maybe, crawl into my desk. I'm just gonna stop there. But anyways, besides that, basically just, subscribe, of course. I'd like to get to 20,000K tomorrow. It'd be nice. So, or maybe like by Monday, it'd be nice to hit 20K. Sure it'll happen. Sure Cyber will probably let me know before I even know. So, and hey, 20K leads to 30K, baby. 30K leads to 50K, baby. So, I don't know. Cyberneticshark, he's the, I don't know, he might be extended cousin of Miss Cleo, because He's made some brave, put some brave statements out to me in the private conversations about where he's seen us going and whatnot. And, apparently we're going to be billionaires here soon. No, I'm just kidding.
I actually was related to the British Empire.
Oh, yeah?
Oh yeah. So
Did you fuck 7.75 of them while you're over there?
I cannot deny.
Oh, okay. Well, you've got me, brother. I've always wanted to get it on with a British chick myself. Oh, you're related to George Clooney? Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah. Related to the Batman Robin actor.
Hello, Facebook user. I never know who you are. I never know. Sometimes Facebook, when you're a Facebook user, you then end up turning into for some reason into your name. So it could be anybody. You could be. We don't even know. You could be friend or enemy. But I'll still say hello. Hello. That's how old I am. That's from Poe back in the day. Poe, baby. So, anyways, folks, shout out and support me in Cyber and pray for us as we get ready for Rock Mill, Daytona Beach, baby. Getting after it, Cyber. I just realized that we're not going to be. We don't have passes for Sunday when Tool plays and and Deftones play live, man. That's rough, bro. We might have to change that up. I don't know if we're gonna have to. We might have to make something work out. We have to work something out with that. Tool might. Who knows, man? You don't know when Tool's gonna just decide to play live. I mean, who knows? You know what I'm saying? So, who knows when their last show's gonna be? I thought they were already done. To be honest with you, I thought they'd already stopped touring and all that. But either way, yeah, pray for us, folks. You never know. I mean, we live down here in Florida. Anybody who's been to FloridaMan.com knows. You never know what the hell might happen over there, man. Me and Cyber are more safe. It's just you don't know what these footings are gonna do to you. Somebody threw a fucking alligator in a goddamn Burger King drive-thru window the other day. Why? I have no idea. Don't really understand the logic of that one, but whatever.
Maybe he was hungry.
No, he didn't. He didn't use it as like currency. He just threw it in there. Yeah. Anyways, either way, folks. So, like I said, DC animated films, baby, we love them. They're great. We did Wonder Woman last week. It was awesome. Right, Cyber? We loved it. Andres.
Yep.
Great movie.
Yep. Great movie.
I just got done doing a meetup group event with a bunch of comic book shop owners and whatnot up in Orlando, right? Because I've been secret agent doing some back side work, kind of networking and whatnot and everything, and trying to connect more with like the comic book owners and whatnot here in Southwest Florida. Trying to set some things up, trying to find some content, find some talent, and try to put stuff together. And I was kind of talking to them about the show. They give me some ideas. We were talking about the DC animated films. They like them too, and they enjoyed hearing about the dichotomy of how Wonder Woman was very similar to the live action with Gal Gadot, right? Just different and how more adult. I think some of them didn't realize how adult they are. Which just it's the same thing with Green Lantern, baby. Yeah. A lot of adult humor. There's a little bit of sexual suggestion here and there, not much, but there's a little bit of it. But it doesn't need it. And basically, I mean, essentially, it is a very well done, very compact Hal Jordan introduction story. Which I think is great that they followed up Wonder Woman's right after that, and now they're doing Hal's. Right, it's perfect. I guess. I mean, maybe they wanted to line it up sort of to formulate for the Justice League. I don't know.
This was during the height for the Green Lantern because this was like after the big arc of the Blackest Night from Jeff Johns, and so like putting like this animation makes a lot of sense for them to produce it, and plus I think Warner Bros. Wanted to put more Green Lantern content out there because I think at this point we knew a live action movie was in development and going to be to release in 2 years. So that's how Warner Bros. Does it. Just push out all this content and exposure of this like obscure character that I mean people know of, but
I don't know enough to know how obscure the Green Lantern is. I mean, honestly, I never really saw him that way as a character. I thought, to some extent, people do know kind of grasp who he is. Basically, overall, I think honestly, this film may be almost exactly the same length overall in time as Wonder Woman was. It's 117 minutes, I think.
I think this one is shorter than Wonder Woman. Hold on.
I got too many pages up.
Let me check.
Yeah, I got it
it-
too.
It's much longer because Wonder Woman was 73. This one's like 77.
Oh, okay. So 4-minute difference.
Yeah. So
I got you. And now, it's strange. I noticed that when I first searched this film, it comes up either as Green Lantern First Flight or Green Lantern First Flight Sinestro.
that's weird.
That's weird, isn't it? But now, this film did come out in 29, just like Wonder Woman, right? It did.
Yep.
And of course, it is written by Alan Burnett and Michael Allen. It's directed by Lauren Montgomery.
Mm-hmm.
It is based on Hal Jordan. It was created by John Broome and Gil Kane at DC Comics. Produced by Bobby Page, Bruce Trim. Starring as Hal Jordan, Christopher Maloney, who I'm sure many of you are familiar of and whatnot. This one doesn't quite have the star-studded cast in terms of the voice acting and whatnot. Maybe as Wonder Woman did. Michael Madsen's in it. Kurtwood Smith's in it.
Yeah.
Larry Drake. Trisha Helfer from Battlestar Galactica. Have not seen her much of anything since then. Victor Garber's in it.
Yeah.
Oh, John Larroquette's in it.
And Kurtwood Smith,
Yep.
the villain from RoboCop, is here as well.
Yep.
And the voice actor, I didn't know that it wasn't Nathan Fillion. This is Christopher Maloney. This is the actor from Law and Order SVU.
Yeah. Christopher Maloney. That's right.
Yeah.
He was also in Oz on HBO.
Yes. And he was also in Man of Steel. He played the Guardian.
Yep. No. So. Oh no, but no, and Kurtwood Smith, of course, also was the dad on that '70s show, which he was great on that. He was he probably was the best part of the damn show, to be honest with you. Red. He was Red.
Yeah, Red Foreman. Yes.
Love that show.
I love his catchphrase. I'll kick your ass. Dumbass.
Yeah, didn't they reboot that on Netflix or something as like that '80s show or some shit?
That's 90 show. Yeah.
That '90s show. Okay.
Yeah.
It was good.
Was it good? Is it still active, or did they already?
It got renewed for a second season.
Oh, you know what? Then shit. At that point, I'll probably watch it. Then why not? I'll write that down. I'll watch it. I mean, they're in it again. Red and what's her name? What's her name? I forgot the name. The actress's name. But they're in it again. So if they're in it, it's probably got to be good. Plus, I love the '90s.
Yeah. Deborah Joy.
Go ahead.
The actress name is
Yes.
Deborah Joy Rupp.
That's Rupp, right?
Yeah. Who's in WandaVision? If you've seen the show.
Yes, that's right. She was in the first episode.
In a couple of them.
Oh, okay, that's right. She was, yes. No, she was actually one of the more prominent secondary characters. So look, folks, I'm going to go ahead. I have 2 trailers for the Green Lantern film. I'm going to play them. I'm going to check in with Rich real quick and see what's going on and make sure he's alive. And, oh, by the way, folks out there in Cyber, Andres, I actually met a chick the other day that lives in the Inception dimension, believe it or not. In her own world.
Really?
Yep. Isn't that interesting, Cyber? She lives in the Inception dimension, which I told her. I hope she understood what I was talking about, because it's not a positive comment, or whatever.
Oh my god. I'm surprised he didn't go with.
You gotta love it, Cyber. You gotta love that interactivity, baby.
The ring, it has chosen you. Take it. You are now one of the protectors of the universe.
Pretty awesome trailer.
They're very short.
Yeah, but it gets to the point, which is good.
Yeah, just like the movies, right?
Yep. Oh,
Then I got one
I don't know
more.
about the movies, but some hit it right, but then some they don't. Unfortunately.
All right.
And the Transformers last night's trailers were just bad.
This is the one from the DVD movie collection, I think. Oh, no, that actually was the last one. I'm sorry. This is the one. There's two different ones. This is the one that is, I think, the actual the one that came out in '29. Yeah, that's what that is. Let's see the difference. Is it the same thing?
Looks like it.
Yeah, same thing. My bad, folks.
It has chosen you.
We don't need to watch that again. It's not that good of a trailer. Either way, I tried. It looked like different. It looked like a different one. Either way, it's. I mean, look. Compared to the MCU trailers and whatnot, and the ones we see for DCU now and everything, they're totally different in length and everything and whatnot. It's not live action. But like you said, Andres, they are like really tight and like you know what I'm saying, like they flow really well, and it is very similar to how the films are in terms of the way that they're structured. But essentially, this is a very basic review, folks. I mean, Cyber, Andres, I mean, I'm really going to just, kind of try to be, if anything, kind of short in terms of my breakdowns of the scenes, whatnot, and everything, and try to give you more time to talk. So, in general, they start off the film really quickly, just like most of the DC animated films we've seen, especially like Wonder Woman, for instance. It's very quickly, they go right into it. There's no bullshitting around. There's no like lollygagging. It's right into the action, right? Like, literally, like from jump. You have Hal Jordan. He is a test pilot, of course, and he basically he's out doing his own thing and whatnot, and test piloting and whatnot and everything, and notices the crash landing of a ship, an alien ship that is, of course, Abin Sur. And as he sort of comes down and goes to try to help him and aid him, knowing he's an alien, obviously. Abin Sur's dying, and basically says to him, the ring has chosen you. Take the ring. That's it. I'm done. And I found that very, very, very profound. That he said that, right off the bat, when he said that, the ring chose you. It made me think to myself what that must feel like, the pressure of that situation and whatnot, to have something like that happen so quickly. Meet an alien, right? And then have someone just be like, here, this ring has chosen you. You don't know what the hell it is. But either way, he takes it, right? And it goes right on and everything and whatnot, and he basically, he converts over to Green Lantern state and whatnot and everything. At that point, Abin Sur kind of says his last little words and whatnot and everything. Says, what does he say? He says, use the ring, yes, wisely. And then he dies. And at this point, Hal, of course, basically, is inducted into the Green Lantern Corps. Now, at that point, they just kind of jump ahead, I guess, during that time period. Now, this part I didn't kind of understand, and you guys can fill me in on this. When he comes back to the base, did they say that he was gone for a week?
No.
Oh no! I'm sorry. No, it was when he was talking to his controller or his female friend there at the base, and he was out kind of already superheroing, right, as Green Lantern and whatnot, and everything, and he had an earbud in and whatnot. And they were talking. That's what it was. She was like, "You haven't checked in a week or whatever and whatnot." Now at this point, right there, when this happens, he says, "Oh, I gotta let you go." He notices this light or disturbance, and right there, essentially, some of the Lantern Corps come down with Sinestro, and they essentially come to take him to I believe, how do you pronounce it? Is it Aowa?
Just Oa. That's it.
Oa. Of course, which if anyone's seen the Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern film, is the planet where the Corps sort of has almost its home base along with the Guardians. So basically, right there, they let him know they're very shitty to him, especially Kilowog, right? Like everybody's kind of shitty with him. They give him shit. Kilowog's like, "Give me that fucking ring," or whatever, right? And Sinestro lets him know you need to go with us. And it's not a request. So before we go into that, and I will after that go ahead and explain sort of the dichotomy really quick of the whole premise of the battery, the battery, the lanterns, the green energy, the green elements, the yellow element. I'll break it down for a second. But starting with you, Cyber, what'd you think of the intro? And what did you think of the pace of it? Anything at all in contrast maybe to Wonder Woman? Whatever you got.
So I really enjoyed the beginning of the film. It was really done well. I liked how they made it where it was very quick and short and to the point with his origin story, which kind of because of it being in Wonder Woman, his origin story there, or Justice League, sorry, just the Justice League episode we watched, the film, because they kind of had his origin story in that. I feel they decided, oh, let's do a shorter origin story for this and get right into the meat of the material, in which I really enjoyed that. And the animation, the music, all of it is so well done in this, and I'm just blown away by how good this film is. I really enjoyed it, and I love how it starts off with him getting the ring, getting the powers. It's really quick and sweet to the point, like I said. And then his first introduction to the other Lantern Corps, of course, Sinestro and the others themselves, Kilowog, which I think Kilowog is probably my favorite of the Lantern Corps. I think he's the awesomest looking. I just really enjoy him, and I think he does a really good job. As we see later on in the film, he gets even better. And just overall, I just really enjoyed that introduction to those characters, and letting the awesome Hal Jordan know that, hey, well, it's not up to you whether you keep the ring or not. It's up to the Guardians, and we get to learn about the Guardians a little bit. That we're gonna go meet them and stuff like that. So that whole beginning intro is really well done. Really good start to the cartoon itself, and just the movie. And a really good introduction to those characters.
Andres, your thoughts?
Yeah. So I think the intro was great. I just mentioned in the chat that we already experienced the full length of Hal Jordan's origin and Justice League New Frontier. So I think for them, just making it as the epilogue for your opening makes sense. Boom, boom, boom. Here is Green Lantern. This is Hal Jordan, our main protagonist, and you see his girlfriend, from the comics and of course from the Ryan Reynolds film, Carol Ferris. That's the person that Hal's talking, in his in the phone, and of course in the pilot, the simulation thing. And it was really fun to see Sinestro with Kilowog, Tama Ray, and this other character I'm not familiar with, Bukek, that's her name, I think. Really great interaction with these characters right away.
The Lantern. She's how do you spell it? Is it Boo? Boo. It's just it's tough. It's a tough name. It is
Boudica.
Boudica, yes.
Yeah, Boudica. Yeah, Boudica. Just right away, like the use of the Green Lantern powers, like the construct is like so imaginative in the first scene with Hal against those three lanterns that he just encountered, which is great. Yeah, I just right away, just full of confidence, which is something we've been seeing with all the DC original films. Just like giving you good information about this universe of Green Lantern, so which is good.
Excellent. And what did you think of the opening scene in terms of the passing of the ring?
I mean, it's always been like that. If you've seen the various versions of that, it's nothing new. I guess the big difference. Well, actually, this is a big difference. Is that Edwin Storm was killed by Sinestro, which that doesn't happen in the comics and
Yeah.
from the movies or the TV shows. So that's new, and yeah, and of course, uh, the ship exploding, that's different. So yeah, it's very different from the other one. So nothing much there. It's basically the same I seen. It's just handled differently, because
Sure, of course.
it's different from the story they're telling. So it's fine. But I like it gives you in a few minutes, like Amazon tells you what the Green Lantern ring does, like the fact that he was speaking English because the ring was translating um his like language to Hal to understand what he's saying. It's like really cool, and I like the rules and the setup of the power rings here than any version, which is good.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, and you know what? I found the whole aspect of as we get into the them actually taking him to the planet. The whole concept of how distasteful everyone is towards humans. I thought was very funny. I found it very amusing. Like imagining what it must be like, thinking about if that's what it would be like if there were other aliens like that we knew, in our world or whatever, and they saw us that way, like fucking humans. You guys stink. You know what I'm saying? Like I always figured we'd be the ones that wouldn't stink or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But whatever, you never know, right?
It's just classic alien humor. Like they think, oh, we're so primitive.
No, it's funny. It was no. You're right. No, you're right. It is a classic trope, isn't it? Yeah, that we are. We're primitive and we're emotional. Yeah, all that crap. Yeah, you're right.
I'm so happy the Guardians are like integral to the plot because they're so funny as a group, and they have one of my funny that other Guardian is so stubborn, which is so funny. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I just quickly, this is leaps and bounds better than the 2011 film, which it wasn't a bad movie, but the thing that movie struggled was it didn't know if it wanted to be a grounded film on Earth or it wanted to be in a space cosmically like the Guardians films, right? Or Thor or the later Thor films. This movie quickly chose okay, we want to do all space, and that's the one thing I love about this movie is we are in all space throughout the movie. We've seen how interacting aliens and this is Star Wars for Green Lantern. This is Taxi Driver or Bullet meets Star Wars, and it's really cool. I mean, I like it, and that's something that was a huge problem with that Ryan Reynolds film.
I understand it. I definitely understand what you're saying. I do. And so basically, and Rich, Rich had some audio issues earlier, and whatnot, and everything. And so Rich, hopefully we'll get you on this time, brother. I tried to hit him up on Facebook. I didn't hear back from him. But either way, now essentially, as far as I was saying, I don't feel comfortable on my own trying to explain it, so I'm going to read this off Wikipedia. I'm not going to lie. I understand the concept of how the Green Lantern, stuff works and whatnot and everything, but I prefer to just go ahead and read it from here. I'm just putting it out there. So a long time ago, the Guardians of the Universe, the first sentient beings to exist, harnessed the power of the green element to create the Green Lantern battery. However, the battery was vulnerable to the color yellow, the one part of the light spectrum that could resist green. The Guardians hid the most concentrated source of yellow energy, the yellow element, to prevent others from using it against them. After the death of Evan Sur, that's part of the plot. So essentially, you know, as that kind of explains, and it ties into what we get into next, which is actually Hal getting to Oa. Oa basically is presented to the Guardians as like a council, right? I can't remember what they called it. I think it was just like a meeting, or they had a name for it, but it was, you know, basically the council wanted to. They have to agree on, just because he has the ring, they have to agree on him having it, I believe. Right? Like, they have the final say on whether or not he keeps the ring or not. It doesn't matter whether the ring chooses you or not. You know, they actually, through their meeting, they decide. And, you know, so there is some funny joke, there's some funny stuff. You know, Hal's still getting shit talked. He shit talks back a little bit, like, on his way, when they're on their way there and everything and whatnot. And I like Hal in this movie. I do. He's great. I love his attitude. I love his whole disposition and whatnot. Everything, you know. He's cool. Christopher Meloni does a great job. And you never know it was him, Cyber. You would never know. I never would have. If you would have asked me, I never would have known it was him ever. Never would have been able to tell. But so basically, you know, the council, for the most part, except for the one council member. You know, with the Guardians, they don't like the aspect of a human taking the lantern, the ring. You know, they mentioned the same tropes, you know, that, you know, why, you know, that we're like primitive and whatnot, everything, right, everything and whatnot, and you know, not maybe to the standard of like, I guess maybe of other races that would receive the ring. So, Sinestro, of course, who led the sort of team coming down to pick him up and take him, you know, to Oa, you know, essentially is, if I remember correctly, what is he, senior officer, he is? And he's also investigating Aben Sur's death. Now, he steps in, and basically, you know, I don't want to get far ahead of the movie. It ends up playing out, you know, as a part of sort of like longer story. But he steps in, and basically sort of you know, presents to the council that you know, why don't I take him under my wing? He might be useful to me, you know, in my investigation, and I'll check him out. Kilowog says that's my job. And, but whatever, Sinestro's got pull, you know what I'm saying, and whatnot. The council votes and they agree to let him do it. You know, from there, great scene. Oh, gotta love any kind of space brothel, or like space club, or like space, you know, that kind of type deal. They got one. It's dope as hell. It's like a club / like, you know, brothel kind of place, I think, basically. I think that's what it was. And from jump, like, you kind of get the gist of Sinestro as far as like what he's all about. Because when they go to get in there, he just like beats the fucking bouncer's ass to get in, right? So there you go. But that's how Sinestro handles his business. And then he goes in there and straight like tortures an alien chick, like an alien escort or whatever, a prostitute or whatever, whatnot and shit, and is like straight tortured her. But, you know what I'm saying? And, like, interrogating her and whatnot and everything. Because he wants to find, of course, this gentleman, I believe his name is, what is it? Durf? Kutch.
Yeah.
He's looking for Kutch. This alien chick's, you know, basically all over him and whatnot and everything. And she's like, oh, you know, wish you were here for pleasure or whatever and whatnot. He pulls out this sort of space orb kind of deal and whatnot and everything. I really wasn't sure what that was all about at first. At first I thought it was like drugs or something. Some kind of like alien drug. right? That he was giving her or something like that or whatever. But I believe it ends up being it's some kind of device that gets her to tell the truth. But
no. It was definitely like a sci-fi drug.
is that what it was? Oh,
Yeah.
so she was like fucked up. That's what it was. All right.
Yeah, if she took it too much, it could have be like
Ah,
overdose.
yeah,
Like,
it looked like she was getting high. Yeah, no, yeah. So Silvestro's dirty, baby. You know what I'm saying? He's dirty. You know, like he don't play, right? He's like corrupt as fuck. Like in terms of how a lantern's supposed to be, as far as I understand. And Hale's just like, what the fuck? Seriously? Even Hale has to step in and be like, dude, you're gonna kill her. You know what I'm saying? And either way, they flush out Kutch. We get sort of like our first, real solid skirmish, I guess, with trying to find Kirsch and whatnot, everything. We see Hale in action. Of course, he's not as trained as the other Lanterns at all. He hasn't had the ability. He hasn't been trained properly at this point at all. So all he knows is what he's learned on his own.
Yeah. One thing I like about this movie is they make Hal a very like a fast learner, and I brought up the chat about him talking about how his uncle was a cop in Coast City, and he understood very quickly that the Green Lanterns are like space cops. Like I really like that, and this whole movie, it shows how Hal is very like I say, very artistic, like how to use the power ring. He's very open minded, like how to solve the problems quickly, head on. Where compared to Sinestro, which I really like this movie has the best Sinestro villain, like ever. Like those scenes really showcase Sinestro as really a big bad guy, and I really like the rough and gruff police person, abusing his power without realizing he's actually the main villain. So that was kind of cool. So I think these scenes really help to understand who these characters are very quickly.
Oh, that was very nice of you, Andres, to go ahead and just, spoil it right from the jump that Sinestro is actually the, real villain of the film, whatnot, everything, and all that. And
I mean, if you're a Green Lantern fan, Sinestro is he's literally the number one villain everyone knows about.
I get that. I don't know. I don't care, man.
Yeah, I want to make that very clear. It was not a surprise for me, but I was shocked that they made him first to be Green Lantern before he becomes Sinestro. I thought maybe they wanted to do the other way around, that he portrayed the course first, and then we seen him becoming Sinestro and as the Leto Lantern. But I really like what they go here for this movie.
No, and honestly, I like how brutal Sinestro is. Right, I do. I like it. I like the stuff that he says to Hale. Explaining to him kind of why why his methods have to be what they have to be. They at least they give him some kind of they don't. He's not like a weak villain. Like at least he has a purpose, right? He's formidable. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And you understand his actions, like why he does the things he does, right? He's not fucking crazy. I don't think anything like that and whatnot. He just has a different set of opinions than the Guardians, right? He's not happy. He feels like the Guardians have got weak and kind of lax, right? And he's not happy. And basically, he says, he feels like we're the garbage men of the universe, right? So there you go. And he wants to basically take over the corpse and have the ship, run his way, which is killing people and torturing people, whatever. So, at that point, I don't want to go any farther. They, basically they catch Kush, but, Hale catches them. But essentially, after that, Sinestro kind of just jacks him up and puts him in his place and is yo, you you really kind of screwed my game up and whatnot and everything. I'm trying to present a presence where of fear, You know what I mean? And whatnot, everything, right? Like, you're going easy on people and shit and whatnot. I can't be having that, right? And that's not going to fly. And right there, he kind of expresses sort of what his vision is for the corpse, right, to Hale. And Hale kind of notices it too. So, Andres, Cyber, thoughts, please, on those, I guess you could say, what would be, I guess, two pretty solid long scenes?
Yeah. Yeah. The part with Hal getting introduction to the Green Lantern stuff, like going through the Pyrovine core to get all of, like, the alien information that he needs to know, and then tagging along with Sinestro to the alien bar, which was cool. Like it was like those teen scenes, like, just gives you every cool information about Green Lantern mythos, and it just gets you of, like, quickly the plots. Like, okay, Sinestro is, like, we don't know yet of this big crisis that the Guardians have mentioned, which, spoilers if you haven't seen the film, is the lethal element that Sinestro is going to use for the lethal lantern corps. Um, which we don't have that yet, so they're just bringing up this crisis that we don't know yet as the audience member, right? And then but meantime, Hal's tagging along with Sinestro to investigate, like, a police case on, like, who killed Ambrose, and so Clutch the alien criminal that presumably kills Abercern. Okay, just remember that, folks. Presumably kill Abercern, and yeah, like, this two scenes really shows you who Sinestro is as a villain, but as a person, he's very cruel. Like, he's basically Magneto of the Green Lantern Corps. Like, he will do anything to, like, to have, like, law and order in space, and, like, he sees how the Guardians are getting soft, and, like, there's, like, Green Lantern Corps is not doing enough to, like, do, like, this very, like, authoritarian world of the whole galaxy. So that's really fascinating to see a villain like Sinestro at this point. And of course him trying to overdose the I guess the alien hooker, or just the from the bar, is very, like, dark, and again showing the maturity about these movies, you know, for but in like a sci-fi way, which is cool. But, like, you understand what's going on, and how, like, overthrowing his step, like, trying to stop him for killing that lady, was a good show that he's not this cruel person like Sinestro. Like, he's a very, like, thoughtful person that everyone is a individual, which is good. But man, the action scene's great. Like, we have, like, a club fight of aliens shooting at the Green Lanterns is so cool. Like, that's and then seeing this alien Clutch with electric abilities, and throwing it at our main characters is, like, very sci-fi. I love that, and I love the animation here with the club and the aliens. Like, they look so cool. Like, they're so squiggly, like octopus creatures. Like I really love the, like, symmetrical, like, body looks of these aliens, which is cool. Um, and I love the colors, and the neon and all that, and these scenes. But yeah, then when we get to the garbage, the kind of the garbage land that Hell and Sinestro is, like, that's such an important scene to understand, like, Sinestro as a Green Lantern, but also understanding, like, the reason he's doing these, like, evil things later in the film is because he thinks, as you say for Jeff, he's like, we are garbage man of the universe, and, like, he thinks that what the core and what the Guardians are doing is not enough. And so I think that scene is so important. I like that they had that scene, because it's, like, important to have a good villain plot motivation, because that's something that a lot of the superhero films lack. It is the Superman villains don't have a great villain motivation. But here, um, this and Wonder Woman has probably the best villain plots I've seen, and this is so much better than the the live action films villain plots. Like, I mean, I don't understand why the live action Reynolds film picked Hector Hammond and Parallax. Like, I get Parallax, trying to use fear and all that, but like, I don't know. I think that was a little too much. I think here it makes sense. Just stick with Sinestro as the main villain and say, look, he wants law and order in the galaxy, but he's doing it in a very extreme way. That's it. And I think that's good. And so I think these two scenes are very great. And these are my favorite parts of the movie. Um, I mean, Cyber, go. I just love this movie. That'll be good. Gushing over this movie.
What happened?
He's fanboy now. He said, "Go ahead, Cyber."
Go ahead, Cyber.
he's
Take it over.
fanboying. Oh, he's fanboying.
Oh yeah, I'm fanboy.
He's fanboying out again, Cyber.
I'm not
He's
even a
fanboy
Green Lantern fan.
himself, isn't he? He's just a huge fanboy. Anyways, so yeah, these two very intricate scenes, I feel, are a great plot point in this film. I love the whole sequence where Hal meets the Guardians. He learns kind of a little bit about the Green Lantern Corp a little bit about the Guardians. He gives that great sass in that sequence, which was really funny. And I love how, like, the Guardians are like, we don't usually like humans here and stuff like that. And they kept making that a point, like, humans. And I thought that was really funny that they kept pointing to that because there were so many different types of aliens there anyways. So it was kind of like, oh, okay, yeah, let's throw in a human here too with all these other aliens here and stuff like that. So make it really rounded. And I think that's one of the great things about the Green Lantern Corp is that all these different species of alien are a part of it. And I think that's what makes it so much fun because each of them have great strengths, versus the others. And so I really appreciated them showing all these different lanterns and you get to know them. And it's because, like, each character I think would be really fun to just learn about each of these characters because they're all so cool looking.
Yeah.
And the animation in this totally makes me think of Osmosis Jones, the animation in this film. Even though Osmosis Jones was made a couple years prior, it still gives me that, like, almost Osmosis Jones vibe with the animation. But it's a really great little sequence there. And, basically telling, how that he's gotta basically do kind of like a practice run to see if he's worthy of keeping the ring. And so Sinestro coming in and offering to, basically take him under his wing, it was totally like first thing go, like, bing, bing, light bulb over the head. You go, something's up with Sinestro. He's got another agenda, sir. And so as soon as he popped up there and was like saying that, I was like, something's going on with Sinestro because Sinestro has always been a villain. He's never been, he was a part of the Green Lantern Corp at one point, but anytime I've seen him in the comics or even his very beginning comic, he was a villain right then to start out with. So seeing him kind of like be a Green Lantern Corp before he becomes a supervillain was really fun too. I thought that was kind of fun that they added that to this film. Great voiceovers by everyone too, by the way. I loved Chris Maloney as Hal Jordan. I thought, they all did a really great job. But that sequence leading to them going off to find Cooch, because he's the one that killed, of course, the guy that gave the ring to Hal Jordan.
Yeah.
Which I forgot his name already.
Oh, but no, I wanted to mention that too, Cyber. Basically, Evan Sir, when he was killed, basically, he was undercover on a ship of Kanja Rose, which we're going to, be introduced to here soon. Who's kind of quasi the villain, searching for, the whereabouts of some stolen yellow element. That's the threat that the Guardians mentioned and whatnot and everything to talk about. Now, at that point, he's discovered, and Aben becomes under attack. That's when he flees to Earth and crashes and dies and everything and whatnot. That's what's going on leading up to that point. Sorry about that.
Okay. Awesome. And so then we go off with Sinestro and Hal to to their first destination. They end up encountering that one really big beast guy, and Sinestro ends up beating him up. And then they go see the prostitute, whatever she is, which definitely felt like she was like an escort of some.
She was a prostitute, bro.
Yeah. That had worked with Sinestro before.
He had to.
And basically, he ends up, pushing her for, pressing her for information using that orb of some sort. And of course, Hal doesn't like how he's doing it and basically stops him from doing it. And that's when Kush ends up popping up, anyways. And then they go after him. And I thought that whole sequence was really well done too. It was very movie felt like. It felt like something that would happen in a film. And I enjoyed how they progressed that along there. They did a really good job. I thought it paced very well. I thought that it really encompassed what, showing Sinestro's real, true inner feelings too there when he was pressing that girl. So I think that was done really well. And then especially with the chase sequence with Kush, that was really fantastic. All the action, the fighting, and all that stuff was really done well. And the animation just was kick-ass there and so much fun. And I really enjoyed how they ended up doing that with, basically kind of Sinestro going after Kush at first, Hal kind of staying back and having to deal with the other people there, and, ends up falling down into the sewer, and then ends up bumping into Kush after Sinestro doesn't get him, and ends up, basically stopping Kush and getting that first kind of like, not kill, but first like, what's the word, win, for being a Green Lantern. And so I thought that was really well done how they did that too, and kind of like, everyone's like really shocked, like, holy crap, he did this, and he hasn't even been a Green Lantern for like a couple days, and you're just kind of like, holy crap, like there's more to Hal than meets the eye, and not only that, but because he's a human, that's even a bigger thing. So I think that they did a really good job of kind of enveloping that and making that a really funny thing. Did you go past that, Jeff?
I stopped right before they actually get to the point where they're going to go essentially on the mission to go get Anjar Core.
Okay. Okay, Anjar Core, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so yeah, so they end up doing that. They basically...
Sylvester has that sort of like, calls him out and explains to him like, how he fucked him up by being soft.
Yep. So they have that kind of little butt of Sylvester. You mean Sinestro? Sinestro and him, and he has that like conversation with him to say, you gotta be mean and evil and stuff like that, and that kind of forewarns kind of Hal, kind of like, okay, Sinestro doesn't really think like the Guardians or the Green Lantern Corps, but really he's a very different fish. He's out there on his own. And so they have that, and then they go back and they discuss again with the Guardians what's going on, and basically get Kush back there, and Sinestro once again goes to town on Kush, trying to get information. The Guardians end up finding out that he killed him, that Kush has been killed from his tactics of the way trying to get the information. They basically, the Guardians kind of reprimand him, and Sinestro's like, I had to do what I had to do type of, kind of thought process, and, they're not very happy with this. And so basically, that sequence was really well done. I liked how we got more with the Guardians. We got kind of that interesting kind of vibe on who the Guardians are, and kind of like an idea of like, how things are kind of being run in the Green Lantern Corps and how it works and everything like that. And I thought that was a good like way of showing kind of like what they did and all that kind of good stuff. And then leading from there, basically ended up going to, right before going after Kanjar Row. Basically we have kind of that intermittent, like, kind of Bukaride, kind of like befriends Hal, and we got to see them kind of become become kind of buddies, kind of getting to know each other and being friends and stuff like that. And basically, you know, kind of like getting to know him, kind of like getting in there, because as we find out later, there's a secret agenda with her too. But at the same time, you're just kind of like, why is she deciding to come over and talk to me and sit with me and this kind of thing? And so that was kind of interesting and fun because you were kind of like, what's going on with this Bukurai? You know, what's her real deal? What's all going on with her? And then, of course, you know, we have that great little sequence, and that basically leads us to, you know, the next mission. So I think all that sequence there, all that stuff was really well done, a really great portion of this film, and just made it really fun and enjoyable. I had no problems with it. I thought it was all done well, no pacing issues, just a really fantastically done.
The whole film is well paced. The whole film is very well paced. It really is.
It was.
Yep, very tight, right? Very concise. Just like Wonder Woman, just like all of them, basically. I mean, it seems to be a pretty repetitive, consistent kind of deal, right? You know what I'm saying? That they just kind of jam it out. They put a lot of shit in there, and it flows really well. It's good storytelling, I think, right? Maybe I don't know. It's weird, Maybe with the DC animated, maybe with the DC films, the DC animation stuff. Maybe for some reason the storytelling's better. I don't know how that connects, but
I mean, so far our least favorite is Gotham Knights, right? But even that has great animation with mainly because it has the animate thing. I mean, it's Bruce Timm and his whole team that has done all the DCAU stuff. Like they still got it, all these 5 films, and that's incredible. It depends on the story that they're doing. And I would say I think the story they're telling with Green Lantern here is actually pretty good. Just minor cons I have. I think for Hal, maybe I want more the kind of emotional art to go with the character, because I noticed that this got mixed reviews, and I don't know. I felt like I felt like it ticked all the boxes I like about it, but I get why. Maybe it's because maybe Hal's journey is not like like are we is he learning to be a great hero, or what's his arc throughout this movie? That's maybe my biggest con about this movie. So,
listen, you never know what's to people who do professional reviews and whatnot, or just like me and Cyber or you or anybody when we do our reviews. You never know what's going on in somebody's life.
Yeah.
You know never what's going on with their job or whatever, whatnot, or fucking their wife or whatever, you know what I mean, and whatnot, or how they're feeling that day, or you know what I'm saying, and whatnot. There's other stuff that ends up affecting you. Right, when you sit down and you review stuff, sometimes it's just part of the deal. There's no way around it. We're human beings, you know what I'm saying? So, at that point, people have biases too. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe they like the Wonder Woman film a lot, you know what I mean, and whatnot. And so then they saw this and they're like, oh, this is terrible or whatever. Or this is a really big step down. Well, I would agree with that personally, but it is not. I will say this: the animation is just as solid, if not better. But I do prefer the Wonder Woman film over this one. I do.
Yeah, same here. It's just for story purposes. It's also because this movie didn't do the origin story.
I like Wonder Woman as a character more than Green Lantern. But you know what, though, folks?
Yeah.
That could change. Because, look, now that we're covering more DC and we're doing DC animated films, reviews and whatnot, and doing DCU stuff and whatnot, we're going to be covering the new DCU type, monster, what is it? Monsters and Gods or whatever type stuff is going to be coming out.
Tomorrowverse, this is called.
Yeah. Oh, either way, I'm getting more heavily into DC. I'm reading some comics and whatnot and everything, and getting into the lore more. And getting more invested into it because I'm enjoying it. It's entertaining. It is a solid film. So, but no, Cyber. Great job, good contribution on that one. You're right. Sinestro really kind of, I guess, in a way, almost gives you like a Thanos kind of type villain for the film. You know what I mean? Differently, but he's a very overarching, right? And like very, large and like really like he has big plans. And they don't really make it, put it out there very much or talk very much about the fact that like the universe is essentially at stake. They say right in the beginning, due to the impact of the lanterns being affected by the yellow element, because of how much they don't really explain how much work they do and what they do across the universe to fight crime and do good and do justice and whatnot and everything, right? Because that's what they do. I'm sure that they'll flush that out. Probably, we'll see that in the next Green Lantern film. But no, Cyber, I would definitely agree that alien prostitute chick was a prostitute, and so yeah, Sinestro definitely has been a customer before, most definitely, and I would probably be one too, just to be clear, just because I always wanted the fucking alien, right? So why not?
By the way, I'm the one that say that alien was a stripper or hooker, not Cyber. What are you talking about?
No, but he's a prostitute though,
Oh,
and that's what she is. She's a prostitute. So
all right.
yeah, that's what she is. She's a straight she's a straight selling pussy, baby.
Yeah, it's crazy that they did that in this like PG-13.
Yeah, isn't it?
Yeah, like without telling you that that's like a prostitute. Like that's what I love about this movie.
It's pretty overt. It's pretty overt. I mean,
if you know that, but like for a kid, it probably just blew your mind and like.
I love it. I love it. I love all the adult aspects of these films. I love it.
Yeah,
I really do.
I really do.
I love it. I really do. I think that in a way, it almost it humanizes them more, right? As that for animation, it gives it more relevance, right? It makes it more serious in a way, less cartoonish or whatever, I guess. But either way, as Cyber left off, they then have the mission, of course, with Hale already at this point now suspicious of Sinestro and his obvious different set of beliefs versus the Guardians, where he's not your typical villain. He doesn't want to he doesn't want to conquer anyone or anything like that and whatnot, or like he doesn't. He's not a criminal. He just doesn't care. He thinks that the fucking Guardians are weak asses and that they're getting sloppy. He doesn't like what he's seeing out there in the universe and whatnot. He wants it cleaned up. It's that simple. He feels like the power of the lantern and the batteries and the rings is being wasted. You know what I'm saying? And that's his whole deal. That's why he's working behind the back with Abin Sur and everything. Or not Abin Sur, but with fucking what's his name? I apologize. Oh, Kanjuro. We find out here real quick in a minute. We end up seeing, his first meeting with Kanjuro, that he is literally a full-out traitor, essentially, right? Which he is. He is basically a traitor to the corpse. But they go on a mission, right, to go get Kanjuro, and the meeting actually before the mission is with Kanjuro and is with Sinestro, and it's really cool because Kanjuro talks just like any American gangster would talk in like an American gangster film, right? Like a classic American gangster film. Like he's a straight gangster. You know what I'm saying? Like he's like, I don't want to see no rings or whatever when we meet. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be seeing no rings.
Or my favorite when he was talking to his henchman, get up. What you doing? When they're in the chase. Like he just nonchalantly tells like go and handle the Green Lanterns. It's so, oh my god, I love this character. Oh my god, he's so
he's interesting. I'm assuming he's supposed to be like a lowlife. I think.
He's a comic book character. He's part of the Green Lantern stuff.
Okay, no, but I'm saying he gives off like that lowlife kind of scumbag vibe. You know what I'm saying? Like
he's like the Tatooine bounty hunters. Like
okay.
Like that.
I got you.
Villain. By the way, quickly, if anyone knows that Cartridge role, he's a major character in the like Justice League stuff. Like if you see the Justice League animation show from the DCAU, he appears in Blackest Night, the two-parter, where John Stewart actually gets framed by the Manhunters that were created by the Guardians, and he was also a major character for Blue Beetle. For him and Reyes in the Batman Brave the Bold first episode, The Rise of the Blue Beetle. So he's a major character in DC. So it was kind of cool that this movie used him as like another like secondary antagonist for Sinestro to be partnered with, which is good because that's the thing I hate about the Green Lantern film with Ryan Reynolds. The two villains, Hector Hammond and Parallax, just didn't make sense as a villain pairing. Here they did the one thing they actually nailed was the two villains pairing, which I like. And oh my god, Sinestro Killingham was so dark and brutal. Anyway, that's why I want to just bring up that he's like a major comic character.
Again, you jumped ahead of me, man. And you know what? I'm really slack on that. I really am. On my cyber, like I'm very slack. I tell people you can go ahead and move forward if you want and whatnot. But you're advancing the plot to like where all the big points and whatnot, you're hitting them and whatnot, and everything. I can't even get to them. That's okay though. You know what, Andres? Just for you, brother. It's allowed. It's cool. It's all good, baby. Yes, folks, it's true. Of course, Sinestro does not do good business with Kanjuro overall. It doesn't work out so well between them. So either way, so basically the mission with Kanjuro is basically part of Sinestro's plan overall, right? To sort of kind of just bypass Kanjuro, right? In terms of like, just getting the yellow element and the yellow battery from, I believe it's the weaponers. He just kind of wants to eliminate the middleman, basically, right? Doesn't want to deal with the bullshit. So on the mission, already to somewhat, there is a conversation at one point where is it Buddha camp? Buddha, green-haired, fucking hot chick. Hot alien chick. Buddha camp. What is it, Cyber?
Booty camp.
Booty camp, baby. Booty camp.
No, it's.
I'm just gonna call her alien booty, baby.
Oh my god.
Lantern booty. Anyways. No, she sits down and chats with Hale at one point, whatnot, everything, and they bullshit. And he kind of lets her know a little bit that he has suspicions for Sinestro. I'm echoing. It always happens, Andres. At like a certain point in the show, like I start to echo, I think, on your head.
Yeah.
Either way, it's not bad. It's always like kind of like light. It was actually worse a little bit now. Do you hear Cyber? Yeah.
Say it again?
Do you hear the echo of my voice?
When I talk, I hear myself.
Oh, you hear yourself?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Hello, testing. Is good for me now? It's all right.
You sound fine. We're echoing.
I hear you echoing, Andre.
Oh, you hear him echoing too?
Yep.
Really?
All right.
Well, hold on.
All right. I fixed it already.
Oh, you think you got it?
Yeah. It's just do in the settings. Just do.
Let's see. Oh, it's gone. How about that? It's gone. Oh, was your echo cancellation?
Yeah.
Cyber, that fucking echo cancellation, dude. I'm telling you, man. They need to ban that shit. What the frig? I'm telling you, bro. Fuck.
They have two options. Like it's for the echo cancellation is for us, but then they have this other one, stereo audio for the musicians. Like what? Like I don't know.
I wish you just get rid of it personally.
Yeah. Get rid of it, please.
Anyways, so no. Before they even go on the mission, some of the lanterns are actually starting to warm up to Hale, right? Like he's already sort of like displaying the sort of morals or whatever whatnot, and like and the sort of integrity or whatever whatnot that you would expect from the corpse. Right, you know what I mean? Whatnot, like, as opposed to Sinestro. You know what I mean? Whatnot, everything. Now, at the same time, though, we end up finding out, of course, that, Booty Lantern, is like, is actually down with Sinestro. You know what I'm saying? Whatnot, and down with the cause and shit. So, either way, we go on a mission. We get some really solid battle, like, action scenes. Really great animation. Where, as Andres explained, we get all the henchmen, right, and everything and whatnot in there. And there's some pretty interesting looking alien dudes. They are, right, and and all the corpses are there fighting. At one point, Hal actually saves Kilowog's life, right? And basically it ends up being a situation where Hale gets to Kanjar first and is knocked out, right, by Kanjar's energy staff.
Yes.
Sinestro pops in, right, and kills him, right? Straight kills him. And that's it, kills him right there, takes the staff, and they go in front of the Guardians, in front of the Council again. And basically, Hale's blamed for Kanjar's death, by Sinestro, saying that he had to do it out of self-defense. I believe he said, right? He had no choice. But either way, Kanjar was very valuable to them from an information standpoint in terms of finding the yellow element. So they didn't want him dead, right? That was the whole deal. And the point of the mission. So they're not happy at all with Hale. And they go ahead and de-ring him right there, right? And they de-ring him. At that point, essentially, as he's kind of, being taken back to Earth or whatever, or delivered, he talks to, Kilowog and, Booty Lantern, and, tells them, hey, look, this is the real scoop with Sinestro. Like he's actually a bad guy. Like, what I'm saying? Like, I know for a fact that he does not believe in, like, the ethos of the corpse or whatever and whatnot. Like, he is a basically like a traitor, right, to the corpse and whatnot and everything. Like, he's against the corpse. He's against the Guardians, right? And the Guardians, of course, they run the show. At that point, Kilowog likes Hale now and everything whatnot, which is cute and whatnot and funny and shit. Kilowog's funny, like you said, Cyber. He's funny. I like him. I like his personality. His voice and whatnot, his humor, and like how short he is when he talks. But and I actually read some of his stuff in the comics too. So basically, what I thought was awesome is that as Jordan's taken home and he sort of like, convinces Kilowog and Booty Lantern to team up and like go, hunt down Sinestro and see what's up. Sinestro uses his ring to actually reanimate Kanjar's corpse and talks to him and shit and whatnot. Now, I did not know that a lantern ring could do that. I thought that was like the best, not the best scene in the film, but I was blown away by that shit. I was like, yo, he just reanimated somebody from death to talk to it? Like, come on now. Seriously? Shit. That's some powerful shit right there, man. If you can bring people back from the dead to talk to them. Jesus. Anyways. That was awesome. And he basically, gets the information out of a dead, reanimated, Kanjar with the ring and figures out that the yellow element and the Arbiters are on the planet Quard. Now the assembled sort of like, Jordan Hale, Hale Jordan team, with the other two lanterns shows up right at that point when he finds that out. And right before you think there's going to be like a battle to square off, all of a sudden, Boudica knocks out, Kilowog, right? And straight up, like, steps next to Sinestro and whatnot to let, Jordan know, hey, like, I'm down with his cause too. So Sinestro offers, a spot on the team, right, to Hale. Hale denies it. He's like, no, I'm not down with any of this shit. And he actually, throws down against them and whatnot, ringless, just as a human being, which I thought was really cool too. I like that a lot. They put him in that spot like that without the ring, that was cool. And he had to be inventive and kind of make it work and figure out how to take on a lantern without really getting superpowers. So that's what he does. He gets inventive, and he essentially fools Boudica into like activating or breaking the staff, causes an explosion, kills her. Right? Sinestro escapes. We move forward. On Quard, the weaponers are there. They give Sinestro the yellow ring. They give him the battery. And from there, Sinestro goes ahead and uses it, and he starts just basically, obliterating Owen. And, blasting it up and shit and whatnot. So, I'll stop there. Cyber, sir, before we kind of get into the final, sequences of the final sort of, one-on-one battle. What did you think of the build-up kind of before that, at that point where they flushed out? Just simply, what did you think of the reanimation scene for one thing, and then the sort of continuing dirty dealing with Boudica turning out to also be a traitor.
So I mean, that whole sequence, from basically that battle where Hal ends up on the spaceship with Jajaro, and he gets knocked out, and then Sinestro pops up and kills him. Uh, from that point to that build up is just so fun because we're getting to know a lot more stuff in that whole section, such as getting to know that Sinestro is really the main villain in the film, that he's got other people he's working with, that he was working with Jajaro and all this kind of stuff, and we get kind of that great build up of him kind of finding where this particular item is so that he can be more powerful and take over the Lantern Corps and all that kind of stuff. The reanimation scene was really cool. I thought that was a cool concept. Him being able to use the ring to reanimate the corpse to show him where he needs to go to find the yellow Green Lantern power, and then Hal and them showing up and basically seeing that Sinestro, he's got this ultimate plan, and of course then finding out that Bukakai was in on it too because he was helping her, helping him to get this product that he was looking for. And I can so hear myself so bad right now. And so basically then they end up having kind of that little battle sequence in there. And I love how this film kept the blood in it and made it seem very much PG-13 like. And so when Hal ends up taking out Bukarai, and she gets smashed up into that thing, and you can see the blood dripping and stuff, was just so super cool, and absolutely loved it, and thought that was really cool. But then the battle with Kilowog and them and stuff like that was really well done too, and worked really well in that kind of aspect and stuff. And I just really enjoyed it and thought that was a really great build up to where they end up going. And so we get that kind of that cool little backstory too of who all was involved leading up to kind of Sinestro being against everybody. And so I think that just was really done well, really great writing, really great animation, that whole sequence, and just all of it was so much fun. It made the film really enjoyable.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, same here. Well, now I can hear myself. Anyway, I think this whole sequence is the best part of this movie. I mean, it just leads up to the great climax. I think Contra Roa is such a great secondary antagonist. He reminds me so much of Claw from Black Panther. I like how Raw and Sinestro partnership is kind of like what Killmonger and Claw partnership is in Black Panther. So I really like the way they use our two villains here. So basically, Raw was the pawn of the main big villain, which is Sinestro, and the fact that he knew, he actually had plans if Plan A didn't work out. So before he killed Roll, and he saw the two lanterns that are gonna enter in to the main uh, ship, pilot pod, whatever. Um, he say, what? He say, you know what? Plan B can work, and kills him like that because he's going with Plan B, which is totally like shows how Sinestro is like very like thoughtful and like very determined and like organized with his plans of trying to achieve what he wants uh to do with the little element. Yeah, then after that, Hal being in trial, it, it just right away, like this is where Hal has to prove himself that Lorraine isn't wrong about him. The fact that he got framed by Sinestro, uh, isn't fair, and I think it was kind of shocking that the Guardians doesn't realize that like Hal is being set up by someone, especially because he didn't have the staff. Like, where's the staff? It's like, what the heck? So, but yeah, right away, Sinestro just like made more clues for Hal to understand that okay, he is the main bad guy. And then after that, I like one thing I like about this movie is the Kilowog and Hal relationship. I really dug that they really built up to their relationship because they actually have a great friendship in the comics, and I really appreciate this movie taking their time to build up their friendship. So I like that. Kilowog at first didn't like Hal, and I like in the battle scene, he almost got killed, but Hal saved him. So I really dug that they build up the relationship, especially because he's towards the climax. He's the first Lantern that gets his powers back, and he goes and saves Hal, and like that really pays off. The trust that he now has for Hal, that he's a worthy Green Lantern. I really dug the development of that. Um, yeah, so after his ring is taken off, the huge twist about Bukaway being the main, being like the hench person with Sinestro, being part of Sinestro's plan was never. I never expected that. That's a great twist. That was when, like, I saw this the second time. I was still like jaw drop about that. I thought that was really great, and that's another reason that Hell is still around because like Sinestro, just like Magneto, wants wants to bring more people into the cause, and it's like allowing Hal to have a chance to join this new world of world order that Sinestro's going to do. So, and of course, obviously, Hell's not going to do it because he's the good guy. Like, come on, you're doing a lot of these like lethal and just like extreme methods that are totally unacceptable in human levels, and Hal sees that, and the Guardians don't approve that. Like, they have strict rules too.
And
So,
it contradicts all the shit talk earlier. They throw at him in the beginning about him being a human and whatnot and everything. Because in all honesty, between him and Sinestro, he's the moral one.
yeah, exactly, and and that's good, and you see that perfectly in the scene.
It's sort of the theme of the movie in a way. You know what I'm saying? And whatnot and everything. Like like that's the duality.
Yeah, and it's also like what was it like don't how you say out like the movie also shows how like he don't underestimate someone from their looks and all that because like Hell is human, but he has skills and and through thought of how to do these situations. Like he's not a cop, but like he's been an Air Force pilot, and that
and I think he banged Boudica at one point there or whatever. At one point, remember, she's like, "Are you ready for the mission?" He's like, do we have some extra time or whatever?" I think he went over the side and tapped that shit real quick. See, now I can't blame him.
Yeah, same too. By the way, I mean, I was shocked about that twist because I really like that character. Like, the fact that this movie made me care for this character and love this character. I mean, she has great body and great hair. I, was so sad that she became the villain, and I was like,
Oh my god.
oh my god, it was so surprising. But her death was so brutal. Like as Cyber say, I was like, oh my god, you see the death and those things.
They show blood.
Yeah, well, we saw blood in
Yeah,
Evan
yeah.
Sword, but this was big. I was like, oh my god, this is graphic, but I love it. Like it was just amazing. Best death I ever seen in a superhero thing ever. And then yeah, and then this is be the last part of well, I have one con actually.
Well, hold on. Let me explain really quick.
Yeah.
When Sinestro goes, attacks essentially, Owa,
Mhm.
essentially, what with the yellow ring and the battery, it immediately it has the capability to just essentially make all of the lantern's rings inert, right? Like
Yeah.
just by its presence. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, so like literally like the minute the minute he gets there, like none of the lanterns can fuck with him. Like, he's just like running through them and whatnot and everything, right? Like even before they're depowered, he's whooping their asses. So, at that point you could see like they clearly display that the yellow light is like the Superman's kryptonite almost, right? To some degree. It's like literally like, the one thing that just, it just like almost like it like eliminates the power of the green energy of the green element. So, when he, comes in there and Sinestro does, right, on this assault, essentially to sort of like assert power or control of the corpse, because that's basically his mission. That's what he's kind of trying to accomplish. Of course, all the lanterns try to fight him. When they're depowered and when the battery's activated or whatever, some of them basically die because they asphyxiate because they're in space, right? And they show that, right? Like it's right there, like you see him die, and basically, it's just more good like animated action, but there is like it's powerful. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is it's kind of sad. Like you can see the lanterns, like their reaction to like having the experience of having their rings fall off to the ground, right? Depowered and whatnot and everything. And at that point, essentially right when the Guardians are going to acquiesce under threat of like, annihilation, to, let whatever, Sinestro wants, Hale's able to essentially use his ring and it kind of insert it into a crack in the yellow battery, and somehow through that, he ends up being able to. I didn't totally understand the whole concept of it, but he basically was able to power up with green energy to a level to where he ended up taking two moons together and smashing the battery together in between it and destroyed it. Right. So at that point, that powers the rings on, as Andres mentioned. Kilowog's the first one. He's about to die, right? And his ring powers back on. And still though, Sinestro still is overpowerful versus them. Basically like from a combat situation or whatever and whatnot, even in mass. So of course Hale pops in, right? And we get like a final duel, right, between Sinestro and Hale, who now he's not depowered, but he loses like that power boost he got or whatever when he powered up there, whatever, somehow or whatever. Maybe you understood it, or Cyber Andres better than I did, but whatever he was able to do to be able to just generate that power to destroy the yellow battery. When he goes into fighting Sinestro, he's not depowered completely, but he's not at like full strength or at that level, basically, right? And they throw down, and like there's some good hand-to-hand combat, right? Like there's some straight lantern power shit, and obviously good conquers evil, baby. You know what I'm saying? So like Hale wins, and I mean, basically, so okay, so his green power is exhausted in destroying the yellow battery. So either way, Owen gets rebuilt. The Green Lantern battery is restored after like the onslaught and the destruction of the attack or mission of Sinestro, and the Guardians give the privilege of leading the corpse in reciting the Green Lantern oath to Hal, who then just goes back to Earth to check in with his boss there, Carol Ferris, and there you go. And that's pretty much the end of the film. So, Cyber, final thoughts, sir. Before we go to plugs, the whole, I guess you could say probably what, a quarter of the film that it probably is, maybe less than that, 20% of it right there. That final battle, and us seeing the whole, we got the echo back, us seeing the whole, contrast of the yellow element versus like the green element and whatnot, which I think is an important aspect to get into. It is, to understand these concepts of how this stuff works. It's an important part of like the Green Lantern Corps. What's your take on that whole thing? I mean, what'd you think? What'd you think of the final battle, the actual fight, the one-on-one, and how they handled with the whole thing? And did you think it was a good origin story, a good start for as our 50th DC animated film, a good intro, kind of film to kind of start off with Green Lantern as Hal Jordan?
So, the last remainder of this film is absolutely fantastic. I absolutely loved it. I thought that how they go from after that fight, that sequence with Sinestro, him escaping and going to find the yellow element. We got to see that really great sequence there where he finds that yellow element, and he's got those creatures that are telling him basically how to work it and use it and stuff like that. Which those things totally made me think of spiders. Totally thought they were spiders, but I know they were some sort of alien thing or whatever. But you have that great sequence, learning and seeing where it was hidden, him getting control of it, and you basically taking it on its first flight with him, intercepting several of the Green Lantern Corps, and basically destroying them. And basically from there, we just get this great, awesome battle sequence that basically has the Guardians, has all the Lantern Corps working on it, fighting and battling Sinestro. Him using that, like, it looked kind of like the Death Star to me a little bit, except with a center in the middle there with a yellow core, and basically using that to like destroy most of the city and kill several of the Lantern Corps. And we have that great battle sequence where all the Lanterns are trying to battle him and stuff like that. And basically at this point, Hal still has no ring because it was taken from him. And basically one of the Guardians ends up helping him get the ring back. And he takes the ring and becomes the Green Lantern again. And he starts helping with the battling and stuff like that. At one point, the regular Green Lantern battery is destroyed by the yellow element. And Hal somehow like cracks the crystal that powers it and is able to absorb all the green energy. And basically, after most of the Green Lantern Corps is having no success, he ends up popping up and is completely green from head to toe, this like pure green light. And he takes on Sinestro, and that battle sequence was awesome. I mean, he kicks his butt. He goes to town. They have out battle it and all this kind of good stuff. And just it is so awesome and so well done. And just leading through that, basically that giant epic battle between, destroying that Death Star looking thing with the planets, which was really awesome. That was like so cool. And then, basically taking out Sinestro with, basically himself and a little bit of help from the others, and, end up saving the day. And then we get that great kind of like little end sequence where he kind of gives a little bit of speech after he's officially fully a Green Lantern now. And he's like, oh, gotta go check in with home, this is gonna be such a commute. And then basically ends up going. It was absolutely freaking hilarious how they ended it. But the soundtrack on this was so awesome, so well done, and just all. I mean, amazing compared to the other previous four we've done. This is my favorite. I absolutely loved this movie. I thought it was super fantastic, so well done. I'm a huge Green Lantern fan. I've always have been. I've always been a fan of his because everyone else always enjoyed, Batman, Superman, stuff like that. And so I always really enjoy the characters that didn't get enough light. So Green Lantern's always been one of those. Flash was kind of like in the background for a while. So I've always loved the Flash. So Green Lantern is somebody that's close to me, to my heart, that I absolutely have always loved. And this was a really triumphant film. And I thought they did such a great job. And I was even saying earlier that, if freaking DC, the live action films just followed this method of how they make these, they would have Marvel success because that's how good these DC animated films are. They're perfection of what DC is meant to be, and this was a good sign of that. In all the way back in 2009. So overall, a really fantastic film, really well done. Giant 10 on this bad boy, and my favorite of the 5 we've done so far.
Andres.
Yeah. So before before Jeff, you went to the final part. I was just bringing up the dead corpse that of Royal that Sinestro brought up. Uh, this is my biggest con is with the repeat reviewing is the uh set of rules and what the Power Rings do, because I never seen the Green Lanterns bring a dead corpse back. That was like new for me when I saw this. That's my biggest con, and because like one thing I will give this movie, it did a better job of giving me better understanding what their powers are than the live action movie. So um, but there, that my biggest con is I feel like we need more clear rules of what the Power Green can do, and what's their limitation. Besides, like, we know the level element is their biggest weakness, but we didn't go through like the level element is for fear. Like, that's from the comics, but same time I'm not. Yeah, it's like, what else you can do with like with this short time. Anyway, um, but yeah, Cyber, you brought up those weaponers. They look spires, and I had like a traumatic moment today. I was taking out recycling, and I felt something, and there was a spire. It was hanging in the recycling bin, and I was like, ah! So seeing these creatures, and they're
Oh
talking.
man, Cyber, can you imagine if you saw that snake was picking up and shit whatnot in that video I sent you? I don't think Andres would have done that.
No, no. But no worries. I didn't. I didn't. I mean, it was fast, so I got over it. But I was like, oh my god, dear lord. Anyway, so yeah, man, those weaponers, like, I love this movie with their alien designs, and this like was my favorite design. Like, they look creepy. The I don't know who voice acted these creatures, but they were so creepy, and it was really awesome. The little battering reminded me of another DC villain. I don't know if you guys read the Legion of Super Heroes. The Fatal Five, the main. Okay, so this one chick villain is called Emperor Enchantress or something like that. She has this flowing eye. Oh, that is her source of power, and that's what I saw. Like, the little battery, it was like a flowing, like, eye for Sinestro's, like, power source, and that was cool. Like, I never thought they were going to do that, and that was like such a neat addition to use it, because we don't have any level lanterns yet. So it was kind of cool to, uh, instead of having a bunch of them, let's just use the little battery as a weapon, and that's kind of cool. I like that. And yeah, seeing like all the lanterns trying to defeat Sinestro was shocking. But because Sinestro is such a tough character, he has the experience. He has the knowledge over the years of being such a good Green Lantern. So seeing that in full effect, but using the level element as his advantage to defeat these Green Lanterns is like very like scary, and like seeing all of them going down, and of course seeing the rings going down because of the battery being destroyed was like so dark, and like I really like that this movie goes to dark moments, and that's really cool. Yeah, and Hal going punching the green element should never make sense. First off, that's an alien element, right? You think his bone's gonna be easily broken, right? And I don't know, like that was weird, but okay. So he gets the little energy, and he becomes Super Saiyan Green Lantern, full green, which I love. By the way, I love green, and green is my favorite color. So seeing more green is great. Anyway, seeing him versus Sinestro is so great. Like this, like I don't know oh my god, it was so amazing. That seeing Sinestro versus Hal Jordan was the best superhero battle I've seen in a while, and they were very creative how to use construct. Like I love how he used a bat to destroy the little battery, like and using the golf stick to throw it out to outside of Ora was really awesome, and yeah, and just seeing how like fully use the Green Lantern power in full on is like really incredible. And that shot of when the lanterns are looking up, and you're seeing just the lights of the green and little mashing, because you're seeing them fight each other close touch. It's really like an awesome scene, very like cinematic, and like a video game, which is cool in a good way. Um, yeah, and then of course when Sinestro gets defeated, I love how Kilowog stepped on him, and that was like a funny moment, and, and he says something pusher or something like that, and then it was again I brought up that it was a cool payoff of their friendship being formed now, that he trusts Hal. He saw Hal being a worthy Green Lantern, so him getting the power first over the other Green Lanterns was a big moment, and I really liked that. And him saving Hal was really great. Yeah, and then towards the end, we get to the lanterns, doing the ceremony, and if you don't know your Green Lantern lore, like, or if you're not a DC fan like I am, like the whole movie, they did not say the Green Lantern oath, Blackest Day,
That's true.
Blackest not,
That's
you
true.
know,
Yep.
and I love that they say that towards the end of the movie. I had goosebumps when they actually say it, and how to say it was a great payoff if you know that, and that's like a great way to end the movie. And not a big Green Lantern fan, but that gave me like, oh my god, that's so cool, because I love the Green Lantern oath. Come on, it's great slogan.
Finish it up and give me a rate. Give me a rating. All right, and I'll drop my rating,
Mhm.
and we'll plug out, and then we'll peace out.
All right. Wow, rushing me, huh? You're lucky I don't have my
I'm not rushing you.
my purple element, and then like
Oh, whatever.
flash it. Yeah, all right. All right. Oh my god, ranking. This is tough. I probably have to give it 8 out of 10. I think it's it's it, it's a great film. I think the villain plots is the best thing about this. Same thing with Wonder Woman, but I think Wonder Woman outshines this bit more in terms of like character development with our main character of Wonder Woman over there. Where here, I like Hal, but I think there should be more like emotional investment with your character, and I think with skipping the origin, it kind of hurt it. But at the same time, it's a great film. I love it. It has action, it has spectacle. I like that, and it's a big cosmic movie. That's what I like. It's Guardians of the Galaxy, but DC, and I like that. Um, yeah, so 8 out of 10 is for me for this film.
All right. Bonus question, Cyber. Simple compare and contrast. First Flight, Wonder Woman, right? What's the difference in terms of your rating and whatnot? What's the major premise of that it makes for you that makes this animated film better than the Wonder Woman one?
I like the story better. I like the characters better, and Wonder Woman is kind of a very plain, like about Wonder Woman. Like it, it's not really about a male superhero. And I prefer male superheroes over the female superheroes because I just feel like if this was reality, they would be stronger than the female ones would be. So I also at the same time think that just Wonder Woman in general is a great character. I love the character. I love the film. But overall, I just liked the Green Lantern Corps better because I just thought it was a better film.
Andres, same question. Your rating Wonder Woman versus your rating tonight. What's the difference? Why did you rate Wonder Woman higher than First Flight?
Okay. Uh, well, I so
Cliff Notes version, brother.
that's gonna be hard for me. You had to unleash me, just like Hal unleashed his power in the film. Anyway,
Oh, you unleash yourself, brother.
anyway, well, again, I first, I'm not a big Green Lantern fan. I appreciate the lore and the mythos. I'm just not a big Hal Jordan fan. Like I'm more a John Stewart fan. So for this film, focus on him, because I don't think Hal is a really particularly interesting character compared to other lanterns we have. Like Kylo Renner or the other one. I don't know. John Stewart. My John Stewart is my favorite. If it was John Stewart focused, then I'd probably put it higher, like a 9 out of 10. But with having Hal here as the protagonist, it's like, okay, and this is a better version I seen of Hal depicted. This is actually my favorite depiction of Hal in media. So I would say, I'm kind of curious what they do with him in that Emerald Knights thing, because it's not a sequel to this movie. It's actually sort of like Gotham Knights. So Emerald Knights is actually like a eulogy movie where it's different stories they're telling, but with different lantern story. Anyway, because so that's my reason why I put Wonder Woman higher, because I think Wonder Woman in that movie goes through like an actual arc that's emotionally invested. You're in, like, because she has to, like, she's learning to accept Steve Trevor as a person, that old man is not bad, like in the film, and then at the same time she's you know um learning to control her abilities and like be part of a bigger um universe that she didn't know at the time. So I feel like there's a better, more balance of storytelling with the villain plot, but also your main character compared to this.
All right, I'm gonna give the First Flight an 8.759, right around there, right? It's like a 9. You know what I'm saying? It's really good. Honestly, I just have a different. I differ than both of you, to some extent, but more than you, Cyber, in that I actually feel like I like Diana. I do. I like the story, and I like the secondary characters in Wonder Woman. I think that they really they're better than the ones in First Flight. I think. You know what I'm saying? Like that's all it is. It's not really it's not the protagonist heroes or their gender that I really give a shit about, right? You know what I'm saying? Although I would lie to a chick and tell them that that I like female superheroes better if I could get some pussy. You know what I'm saying? So if I had to. But besides that, no, I prefer male superheroes too. But at the same time, though, I love me some good female ones, man. I love the Scarlet Witch. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love Elizabeth Olsen. I hope that her series over there at HBO and whatnot and everything kills it, man. I hope it does. And she wins a bunch of awards and shit and whatnot. She deserves it. But anyways, it's pretty much that simple. I don't really prefer either one over each other at all. To be honest with you, to me they're pretty much kind of the same. They're different, but they don't. They're not. I like Batman. Like fucking Batman's my shit. I love Superman, and I just like the Justice League together though. I do. I think they make a good team. Snyder Cut's dope as shit. But so overall, hey, 5th animated DC film reviewed, recapped. Congratulations, panel, and thank you, everybody. We're gonna go ahead real quick, and I'm gonna put Cyber up first, and we're gonna check out his YouTube channel, baby, and see if he's got any fun, interesting shit going on.
Yeah.
Quickly, Cyber, who's your favorite Lantern character?
Favorite what?
Favorite Lantern character. Is it Hal or someone else?
Oh, Lantern character. Oh. Sorry.
Yeah.
I kept hearing Linter. I'm like, what the heck is a Linter? Oh, you meant Lantern. Sorry.
Yeah,
sorry.
Lantern. No.
Bad hearing.
That's actually the alien race of the prostitute.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, very true.
Hal Jordan is my favorite. Yes.
Okay.
Alright, people, so if you enjoy me here on the MCU's Living Edge, you can definitely check out my solo content underneath Cyberneticshark over there on YouTube. You can find me on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, everywhere you can think of. Recently put up a few videos there. My most recent, of course, is my Super Mario Brothers review, so definitely check that out. I've been putting up a few shorts. I put up some shorts recently about the awesome 310 to Yuma film from 1957 and from 2007. I also did one about the 300 Spartans from 1962. That one's a really good little short there for you guys. And, definitely, guys, got to check out a film called Witchboard. Definitely check out that short. It's a great film. And, just keep rolling. I'm up to 644. We're almost to 650. Let's get to that 700 mark, people.
Let's do it, baby. Let's get it. Motherfucker. What's up? Support Cyberneticshark, bitch. Before he fucking Hal Jordan's your ass real quick. Alright, Andres. I'm sorry, my mouth sucks. For some reason, I don't know why. I thought all Logitech shit was all dope, but like for once I actually bought something from Logitech that doesn't work very well. Or something, because this fucking mouth sucks. It's starting to really piss me off. I'm not very good with the actual pad at all.
Yeah, you have to find the right one. Okay, so right now, Andreas Pop Culture Channel presents my first channel. Right now I'm just currently, with May, I just got back in doing my my Andreas Pop Culture retrospective review. I just did on X2 X-Men United because yesterday it was his 20th anniversary. So I did that, and I just posted Iron Man 3 podcast for today because this is 10th anniversary. Subscribers is increasing. I got 746 subscribers. So thank you, everyone. Please support this channel and just hit that like button. That's all I just need. As for the first channel, there's going to be more podcasts and retrospective reviews. So the next one will be Iron Man 3. So that will be the next one. And I'm thinking to do maybe DC reviews on the animation films that I discussed, like Justice League New Frontier, Wonder Woman, and this film, Green Lantern First Flight. So I'm probably going to do that in May of this month. So that's going to be exciting.
That's awesome. That's good to hear, Andres.
Yep. So that is going to be in Emma.
There you go, folks. And this Friday, of course, we're going to be doing Gladiator. Simon will be moderating. And we'll be doing Gladiator Friday, 9:35 p.m. Eastern, 6:05 p.m. Pacific. The Friday after that, The Shining, baby. Just to be crazy. The Shining. All right, and then after that, we're doing Super Troopers. So that's the next 3 Fridays. That's right. Every Friday we're doing regular straight movie reviews, basically until probably fucking until the end of the year, unless there's something stops us. But hopefully that doesn't happen.
Wait.
What's up there, Andres?
So you're saying next Friday you're gonna do The Shining?
Oh yeah. Oh, you want to come on? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm in. I'm in,
Okay.
baby.
Cyber, can Andres come on the Shining panel?
Let me think. No.
If you.
Of course.
Ah.
He's always welcome.
Only if you do something great, like smoke a cigarette while you're out there, like or something like that. Like do something crazy or some shit. You know what I mean?
Or I gotta do is just chop my head off, just like the
No,
ghost
we
and the
don't.
Overlook Hotel, and be
No,
part of that crazy lunatic ghost.
no, man. We'd love to have you on for The Shining, man. It'll be dope.
Yeah. I love The Shining. It's a great film. I love it. It's one of my.
I love it too.
Yep.
And next Wednesday, of course, we'll be doing Guardians Volume 3.
That's right.
Oh,
Tomorrow night, go to see that shit. That's right. Can't wait. It'll be fun.
Sunday.
Yeah.
Sunday.
Good job, Cyber. I'm glad you brought that up. That's right. Yeah, and then after that, we got another DC animated film review. Now, what's the next one, Cyber? Can you remember? Andres, what is it? What?
It's Superman and Batman.
Public Enemies. Yeah, that's right. Oh, that you know what? And I heard that that's good too. Yeah, and then the next probably I think maybe 2 to 3 Sundays. Jasmine and I, since Jasmine's is basically like kind of like taking over Renee's spot, sort of on the Sunday show now would be. Just kind of like she's gonna eventually get in on some of the DC animated reviews, but basically she's gonna do the Sunday show with me and cover Marvel and cover DCU and stuff like that, and whatnot, more like real time.
Okay.
But we're actually gonna go ahead and do our Mandalorian season 3 recap, like full blown, full season recap. And I'm going to break it up into like 2 or 3 shows. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what we're going to be doing on Sundays, at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. And I think maybe this week on Monday I'll do our first Monday show. And that one will be at 9:35 p.m. Eastern, 6:35 p.m. Pacific. I'll probably just live by myself and just fucking like react to trailers and shit and whatnot and talk shit. Maybe I'll dress up, put my Dustin Raider costume on or something. We'll see. So, anyways, folks, please, as always, support, Cyber, support Andres. I'm sorry, it's unfortunate, Rich. We appreciate you, man. I'm sorry that your audio wouldn't work, whatever, whatnot. We couldn't have you on. It would have been great to have you. But, maybe next time. And, folks, listen, we hope that you have a wonderful weekend. And, Andres and I did a Blue Beetle trailer reaction, and I'm going to have it up on YouTube tomorrow. So, peace. We'll see you next time. Catch me outside.
The hoes are laughing?
Yep.
So the audience are a bunch of hoes.
Yep. Catch me outside. How about that?
Huh?
Catch me outside. How about that?
Catch you outside? What does that mean?
What I just said.
Catch her outside and she'll go outside and do what she has to do. That's what she's talking about.
Oh, yeah,
This
yeah,
is
okay,
all,
yeah.
This is all, but don't you see that this is all mouth?